Most men in this city learnt their trade from their father, and I'm no different. My father used to tell me that his father told him that one of our ancestors worked on the rebuilding of the temple. Not this temple, you understand. No, not Herod's temple. What a sight that is. No, he meant the one they restored after the return from exile in Babylon. Well, it might be true, I suppose. I'm not really all that bothered. I don't have much time for all those fairy stories. I suppose it's because I like to see what I'm working with. I like the certainty of what I do. I know that if I get some good quality iron or brass or whatever metal or alloy I'm working with at the time, and I heat it in just the way my father taught me, for just the right amount of time, then I can beat it and bend it into exact shapes. I like the certainty of my craft, the deftness, the skill and the speed you need to pull the metal from the forge at just the right moment. Because if you pull it too soon, you see, it's not malleable enough. It's difficult to strike right and it shatters. If you leave it in the forge too long, well, it's almost like quicksilver and you cannot work it at all. But do it right, just right, and you can just about make anything. I mostly make big things, gates and hinges and wheel rims and ploughshares and things like that. When I'm at a bit of a loose end, I take the leavings and make smaller, useful things that are quick and easy. Mostly, I make nails. Although I can make all sorts of nails, brass nails, for example, delicate little things for attaching mezuzim to doorposts. Nearly all the nails I make are big, clumsy-looking things made of iron and tempered so that they can be driven hard through one or two layers of wood. Useful things, nails, though they're all much of a muchness, really. Sharpened, tempered slivers of metal, work a day, useful, 10 a penny. I suppose smithying looks dramatic to the outsider. Hot flames, hot metal, the clanging of hammers, the swift movements. We get loads of people who stop and watch us working. We're used to it. I tend to ignore the gawpers, or I tell them to get lost and don't stand in my light. All except once. One day. I was working in the heat of my forge. I'd started a fire, I was revving it up when suddenly the light from the entrance dimmed a little. I looked up and there stood that preacher everyone had been talking about, Yeshua of Nazareth, Jesus the Romans call him. He smiled and asked my name. And when I told him, he smiled again and reached out his hand to clasp my upper arm and said, "Pleased to meet you, Moishe. I'm Yeshua." I knew straight away from his accent he was from up north like me. Now, I'm not very religious, and I would have just dismissed him, to be honest, if I hadn't felt that hand on the bare skin of my arm. It were rough. The palm and fingers were calloused. He had workman's hands, this Jesus. Someone told me later he'd been a carpenter and a good one. I listened to him because of those hands. I don't have a lot of time for the soft-handed priests and scribes. No, more than that, I don't have any time for them. What do they know about hard work? But because of those calloused, rough hands, because of those hands and those calluses, I sat and talked with Jesus while I waited for the fire to get hot enough. And he changed my life in about 5 minutes. I finally realised that God isn't just for the soft hands of this world, but for everyone. That God made these and put the skill in them and rejoices in my work as much as he rejoices in the worship of the pious, if we do what we do for him. Jesus taught me that even the iron we rip from the earth is God's gift. He were a great fellow, that callous-handed carpenter. I sat by my forge a long time the day they crucified him. It didn't take me long to realise, you see, that some of the huge, clumsy nails I made the day he talked to me were almost certainly the ones that they used to nail him to the cross. Someone corrupted the gift God gave me to forge and work good tools, good nails, to pierce the calloused hands which changed the life of the smith who made them. Tragic, really. Even, dare I say it, ironic.